You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast, and we're coming to you with another good one. We got a Sacramento native coming home, Ahkello Witherspoon, Los Angeles Rams cornerback, going to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And man, it's a good feeling. He's got to be the luckiest man, and I do mean the luckiest man in the world. Ahkello Witherspoon, Sacramento native, Colorado Buffalo, Sacramento City College, is going to come home in a pivotal game against the San Francisco 49ers, and they're about to get it in. And Ahkello, that's a special young man right there. And I got a couple stories. I'm going to let you on some insight on him, because remember this, it's not the size of the dog, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And that's what you got with Ahkello. He's the grandson of legendary blues singer, Mr. Jimmy Witherspoon. And here's why he's so lucky. He's the son of his father, who is a great man, Mr. Lucky Witherspoon. And I know Mr. Lucky Witherspoon personally. He's a man of God. He's a man of principle. And one thing for sure, don't ever cross him or do anything wrong with him, because he's a man of his word. And that's what his son is, Ahkello Witherspoon. Now I'm going to back this up a little bit because, you know, I got a little close connection. You guys know I ride with the San Francisco 49ers. And the San Francisco 49ers took Ahkello, third round, 66th pick out of Colorado. And you know what? It was some rough times right in there. But you know what I discovered, and it was shocking to me. Ahkello Witherspoon only played 1 year of high school football. And folks, what does that mean? He was doing something else. So let me kind of talk to you a little bit about what Ahkello was doing. And understand he's a Witherspoon. And with the Witherspoons, they are singers. Okay? The Witherspoons can sing, musicians, you name it, they can do it. And I'm going to tell you another thing about Ahkello. He's an artist. Ahkello, I've heard his music, and he's on the level of Usher. Okay, but he has other options and other things in his life taking priority right now. But folks, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't heard Ahkello's music, first class, okay? And again, father's Lucky Witherspoon. My relationship with Lucky Witherspoon, again, as I mentioned to you time and time, I'm in grassroots basketball. We're in the community. We're about black empowerment. We're about black women empowerment. And we're about women empowerment. Okay? And all this means it's not about race. It's about business. And as I ran Showtime Hoops, right next to me was Mr. Lucky Witherspoon. And he'd always say, Coach, if there's anything you need, you call me. Okay? So that's how my relationship began there. But let me tell you a little bit back about Ahkello, man. This is interesting. Here's one of these genetic stories for you again. He comes in about 5'8", and he's in high school. Okay? And as he's in high school, he's still got options. He's got a music career. And folks, let me tell you, this is a soccer player. Okay? This is a soccer player who could actually go on and play professional soccer. So he ain't gonna never get tired on the field. But, you know, in Sacramento, we're all family. And we all do the same thing. And we all go to the same places. And we all see each other every day, everywhere we go. So one time we were up in Mather Gym. And I got a young man named Darren Johnson. Went up to Washington, finished up with Reggie Theus over there. And what happened was we were in Mather Gym. And folks, it's just high school AAU basketball. Darren Johnson, 6'6", dunked on Ahkello Witherspoon, was about 5'8" at the time. And I mean, he banged him to the ground so hard the gym came apart. But what did the dog do? I'm talking about Ahkello Witherspoon. The dog got up and went right at Darren chest to chest. And this is Darren Johnson, man. This guy's a couple steps from the NBA. Played for Lorenzo Romar. You know, and so when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is a little something different in an athlete here. I'm talking about Ahkello Witherspoon, LA Ram cornerback. Okay, so after that, all of a sudden, I said, wow, he says, I'm going to play football. I looked at Dad, you going to play what? He said, I'm going to play football. That's what I play, Coach Mike. I said, okay. Well, I'm going to have to come check you out. You know, but all of a sudden time passes and he ain't played no football. Like I said, he played 1 year of high school football. Okay, but this growth spurt I told you about with the Rodgers family, I saw Aaron Rodgers go in there at about 5'5" or whatever as a freshman, come out at 6'1", 6'2". All of a sudden, he comes out, he's at Sacramento City, and he grows. So you take a young man that goes out, he's 5'8", coming out of high school, but guess what? He bumps it up. Now you're talking about a person who's 6'2", 6'3", going to come in at 195. And I ain't done talking about him because this is what it is. So the 49ers took him with the 66th pick. And things were a little rocky. He still was playing good ball, but they wanted more. The 49ers, okay? John Lynch wanted more. Kyle Shanahan wanted more. Mike Shanahan wanted more. So they didn't feel he was good enough. But folks, let me tell you something about this game in the NFL, especially with my defensive guys. The cream always rises to the top. Okay, the cream always rises to the top. And don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the players. Don't listen to coaches. If you believe that you can do it, you work hard, do your best, believe in yourself, and never give up, God will take it. And that's what God did with Ahkello Witherspoon. And folks, when I talk to you about these men, these are men of God. These men stand for kingdom principles. Okay, so now you got Ahkello all of a sudden, doesn't work out with the Niners. Okay, but guess what? Good coaching is good coaching. He takes a little ride. He goes on up there to Seattle, plays with Pete Carroll. Good coaching. Okay, Pete knows the game, but he ain't done yet. And folks, this is what I always try to tell people about the NFL. And I tell you this about the Rooney Rule, because the Rooney Rule is there for a reason. You think it's to hire black coaches. The Rooney Rule goes a step beyond that, and these young men need father figures because, folks, a lot of these men that play in the league, they grow up without fathers. And if that coach is not prepared to be the father like Sean Payton, then you need to move out of the way. And I'm a defensive guy. One thing I tell you about Sean Payton, man, don't ever do what you did with the defensive guys, because defensive guys, we wake up in the morning looking for a knockout. And that's why you never see NFL coaches challenge defensive guys. Even Bill Parcells, he didn't go at Lawrence Taylor. He said, some of you guys need to get your head out of the blanket. He didn't say Lawrence, okay? Think about it, okay? Because defensive guys, man, I've seen players run from coaches, okay? But that ain't the story. Here's the story. So guess where he goes next? He plays for Pete. Me and his dad is talking. I say, hey, man, he go in the pit? I said, that's Mike Tomlin. Oh, I said, everything gonna change when he get up there. I said, just hang on tight. By the time Mike Tomlin get done with him, he be right. And guess what? He went on up to Pittsburgh. And this is what happens with the players who have to go back out and they got to find their way. Okay, to my HBCU guys, okay, to go to play in the Legacy Bowl, going to be up in New Orleans, you will get cut. But you don't give up. You got to get back in the saddle and you got to ride again. So when he went up to Mike Tomlin, hey, Mike, Mike's my guy. Mike's my guy, okay? I know everybody may not be happy with him, but he gets it done. So by the time he got done with Ahkello, and Mike's a defensive guy, okay, all of a sudden we got a little more mind change set, okay? Now we're starting to say, hey, we got to tackle. Mike say, you got to tackle, Ahkello. You got to make some tackles. And what I've seen this young man go from coverage with the 49ers to he making tackles now, okay? So you got to look at it. Drafted, 3rd round, 66. That's a high pick for the Niners to pass on. Might have to revisit that on free agency, but it's going to cost you now because the game has went up. And when a man's game go up in NFL, the price go up, and one of the highest paid positions you got to have is a cornerback. And there ain't nothing like being tall. You can't teach height, and you can't teach speed. All right, so let's keep it moving. Ahkello didn't stop there, okay? He kept it moving. Man, I'm talking about good coaching. So where's he end up? He gets done with Mike. Mike's put it in him. He goes to the LA Rams. Let me tell you something about McVay. McVay is my guy. I don't always like what he's done and beat us out of a Super Bowl. But, you know, that's the grandson, man. That's the McVays. The McVays are heavily into the 49ers. We sprinkle around. That's a coach. All right? But here's what happened. And, man, let me show you how good God is. Ahkello got in there, Raheem Morris. And folks, some of these guys, I'm telling you now, these are father figures. These guys take you under the wing. They're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you what you need. They're going to tell you how to got to be as a person. Okay? And they're going to teach you how to survive in this game of the NFL and make you some good money for your family. That's empowerment. That's what's coming from these African-American coaches. So by the time you get done with Mike Tomlin, and don't get me wrong, Raheem Morris and Mike Tomlin know each other. So that's just a phone call away. Tell me about him, Mike. You got it, Raheem. That's what we got. So now, man, I got Ahkello up there, and he's shining. Okay? He got 40 tackles. Solo. I repeat, that's called solo tackles. Okay? In the league this year. Had a great year. 3 interceptions. 14 passes deflected. And you know what that means to me? That means when you get rejected by man, you got to turn to God. You no longer need to look at the problem. You got to look at the problem solver. And folks, I'll tell you this. For any young man that plays in the NFL, and everybody talks about Rodgers in the deep darkness, you going to have some deep darkness. Okay? You're going to have to find your soul. You're going to have to go out and find who you are. You're going to need a support team around you. Because there ain't nothing like getting cut in football and getting cut again and again and again and again. Okay, before you have a career. This young man now has a career. Okay? And when you can play that left side, folks, let me tell you something about the league. On the left side, you got the strong side corner. On the right side, you got the weak side corner. Okay, some guys play both. Some guys can just play the right side. Like old Rich Sherman, he's a left side corner. So that means you got to play the run. Okay? And that means more money, because this is a game, make as much as you can, get to the vested inches of retirement. And then in life, you're going to move on and do what you do best. So he's got a couple choices. But here's what I'm going to say. He earned everything he got. And to Mr. Ahkello Witherspoon, you take that field on Sunday. You handle your business. Coach Mike says hello. To Mr. Lucky Witherspoon, my good brother, hello. Keep doing what you're doing. You've been in this community, Mr. Lucky Witherspoon, helping kids out each and every day. Okay? You my guy. And I ride with you. All right? So that's what we got this evening. Ahkello's coming home. And, man, he's going to have a good time. And remember, 49ers got him in the 3rd round, 66 pick. That didn't really work really well. He didn't stop there. He just decided, I'm going to go on up and see Pete Carroll. Okay, so he had Niners 217 to 220. Seattle Seahawks 221. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin 221 and 22. And now he's up there with McVay, Raheem Morris. Man, that's an NFL coach right there. And folks, what I mean by these guys who are African-American coaches, NFL coaches, man, the players have a relationship. Okay, and this is what it's all about. Okay, it's about getting these guys in. These guys are father figures. These guys are not just coaches. If you ask the number of men who are playing in the NFL who do not have fathers, okay, African-American players, you need to acknowledge that and realize how important it is not only to be an NFL coach, but be a father figure to these people, okay, to these men. When they play for you, they are like your son. Okay, and that's what it's all about. I take you behind the scene. And Mr. Witherspoon, Mr. Lucky, keep doing what you're doing. Ahkello, handle your business. And Mr. John Lynch, take another look at this, okay, because we might want to bring him back home. All right? So we know all things are possible to those who believe. You keep doing what you're doing. We going to keep doing what we doing. And I guarantee you this, every day we're going to get a little bit better and better, and we're going to go a little higher and higher. It's the Money Mike's Syndicated Radio Podcast. We'll see you soon.